What is your I wish I had started doing that earlier in my life? Quitting my old job to find something better. I'm a person of habit and I stayed there because it was stable and I was afraid of losing that if I tried to find another job. I dropped an application at another company with my years of experience listed right on the front. My phone blew up the next day. They wanted to hire me on the spot, offered me double what I was currently making. I nearly had a heart attack. It's been almost a year now and I couldn't be happier. Getting up early and just doing what needs to be done in a day instead of putting it off forever. I've been how I do this or how I got started. Honestly, I got started by getting up early for work. Slowly it became my new norm to get up at 7 AM on my days off. The getting things done part was trickier. I guess I started by doing small things like cleaning or doing errands right away. Like if I was washing clothes, I wouldn't let them sit in the dryer. I would take them out right away and hang them up. Eventually it just became a routine and part of my life. I'm sort of getting there. It's a process. Lately I've been getting up at 6 just to procrastinate and read it more, but the sunrises have been really cool to see. I'm over 40 and I joined the volunteer fire department. I'm still able to keep up with the physical requirements of the job, and I love how effective the protective gear is. Everyone has to attend a recruit training camp which includes a lot of time in the burn building. If I had known firefighting was this awesome, I would have signed up right out of high school. I knew a kid who was dead set on being a fireman from age 4. He had toy fire trucks, a fireman outfit. His parents took him to open days at the local fire stations. He's now in his mid-20s and the happiest fireman ever. Mission accomplished. Eating healthy and exercising. I'm 40 and have all sorts of issues due to an extremely poor diet as a child. Don't be like me. Start now. It's easier than you realize. First month or two are really hard and when you want to give up thinking it won't ever get easier, but it does. Brushing my teeth. No one made me when I was too little to care and by the time I wanted to do it for me the damage was done. I am pretty sure every dentist takes it as a challenge. I ask my dentist friends why they like their job and they say that it's really awesome seeing their patients go from completely damaged teeth to celebrity-like teeth. Swimming. A good few years ago, I lost over 125 pounds through dieting and going to the gym. For the past 2 years I have plateaued at around 210 pounds and just couldn't shift the last 20 pounds that I really need to. About a month ago I started swimming and it is doing so much more for me than the gym did. Maybe I just needed a change or something, but this is seriously working and I'm going to lose the rest by the end of 2019. Swimming is a wonderful thing for the body. Very low impact cardio, helps with large muscle group development, even helps with your posture. I love it. Saving money. I grew up pretty poor, and my family had a spend it while we got it mentality. Never learned how to properly budget and just starting to work on it in my mid-20s. I'm sort of in the opposite side. I grew up poor so I don't do anything for fun or go places because I am petrified something will happen at some point that will cost me a lot of money, so I don't want to spend it on anything. Skincare routine. Sunscreen. Nightly washing with a cleanser, not just a washcloth, removing makeup, etc. Our skincare addiction set me down the right path. I'm 42 and don't look it at all. When I was 15 I saw an interview with Debbie Reynolds, I think, and she was luminous at the age of 70. She said that her secret to looking so young was due to wearing sunscreen every day, including in the winter. I took it to heart. I wish I had stuck to literally any hobby since my early 20s. I've flitted about between all sorts and not getting good at anything. I think the biggest one was drawing. I drew so much as a teen. Sure, most of it was wonky anime, but I was starting to branch out into more Marvel DC style too. It made me happy to just draw whatever I felt like, but I stopped because my parents and teacher kept giving me crap for not doing proper art. Totally killed my motivation, and I didn't keep it up after I moved out, even without any formal teaching. Just imagine what 10-12 years of bumbling my own way through sketching could have got me. Oh well, I'm trying to pick it back up again now. Man, my mom found a short story I had written in high school that had profanities and she threw it away. I don't think I've tried writing anything longer than 3 pages now unless it was for school. I'm not an English major now, that's for sure. knowing that it's okay to be confused and scared. Everyone is confident. You keep your head down because they seem to know what they are doing. But then you realize it's all just pretense to avoid facing that same insecurity that you feel. Be honest with yourself. It's okay to not know stuff or be the best at stuff or not be sure where you want to be in life. It's okay. The idea of accepting this confuses and scares me. Appreciating that it's okay to stay at home if you enjoy indoor activities and staying at home. You don't have to go out all the time. I recently discovered this, too. It's also a great way to save some money. Learn how to learn. I never had to learn for school. I was smart enough to get through school without it. However, it came back hard when I went to college. Snowboarding. I have lived about 15-20 minutes away from a ski snowboard slip for almost 5 years, and I went skiing for the first time in 7 years and the day after snowboarding for the first time ever this winter. I really enjoyed it, but I did it towards the end of the winter, so I didn't have much time before the snow melted. Taking care of my teeth. I was an idiot as a kid and teenager and didn't properly take care of them, which is something I regret so much. Having worked in the dental field, I saw a lot of oral issues that could have been avoided if people just took time to maintain their oral health. Brush and floss, people. It'll save you a lot of money and pain in the future. Running. Running always used to make me get horribly out of breath and a painful stitch in my side after just a minute or so, and I figured I could just never do it. I don't know how I had over a decade of pay in school and no one ever thought to teach proper breathing technique. Finally in my 30s I learned to do it right, and in a couple years I go from not being able to run for longer than a minute at a time to doing a half marathon. Don't get me wrong. I'm not great at it and my times to complete are embarrassingly slow, but it's a huge improvement over where I used to be and something I honestly couldn't have imagined I was capable of doing. My times to complete are embarrassingly slow. Lapping everyone on the couch. Source: I'm on couch when you're running. I turned 30 in October, and boy do I have a long list of these. All the I'll fix it when I'm older things that, well, I am doing now because I'm older. Quitting smoking. 15 years of it, done since August. Working out. I look better and feel better. Run cardio. See the first point for why I didn't. Just doing the fricking dishes. Have savings. Not being high ever second I wasn't working. It's amazing how much time there is in the day. Now, to be even, I'm glad I didn't have a salaried job before now. I experienced a lot of life so far, and now I'm excited for the responsible chapter. Bonus for 10k upvotes. Wake up before you have to. Weather has been warming up, and I've started to jog outside in the morning, and you know what? It's freaking beautiful to be out seeing the sunrise every day. The city is mine, and I realize how much I appreciate that me time every day. Bonus for gold. Thanks for the gold. First ever. Get rid of that stuff you don't use, wear and organize. Being able to find what I'm looking for quickly is 100% better than having useless crap. That crappy feeling of anger, frustration every morning, it literally disappears. RIP inbox in the best way. Go out and take life by the horns. Just doing the fricking dishes. It's amazing how much welcoming your home feels when the sink is empty. Quit drinking. It's changed my life so much that it's crazy. I've lost 60 pounds. I have a job with a future. I moved to an amazing place where I ski all winter and mountain bike all summer. I actually have some people in my life that I care about and it's reciprocated. I'm genuinely happy for the first time in my adult life. Just hit 31 months without a drink. I'm looking forward to this. I'm at 86 days. Good for you. Martial arts. I started about 2.5 years ago and I'm doing great. I always fantasize about starting as a child and being a master by now. I'm 24. Spending money on experiences rather than possessions. When my ex and I found out that we had infertility issues, we decided that our therapy would be spending our time and resources doing things that our friends who were parents constantly lamented missing out on. We spent the next 3 years traveling the world, visited 9 countries, 30 states, swam with dolphins, hiked rainforests and just overall took in as much of life as we could. I wouldn't change a thing, except that whole ex part. How come you guys broke up? Stopped giving a frick at work. I used to work and paid overtime. carry a bunch of stress. Now I put in my 40, do the work in front of me, and if they fire me I've got enough savings to tide me over until I'm employed again. That's the best way to be. I read something somewhere about just trying less at work because when you put effort in above and beyond it rarely gets appreciated properly anyway. I think this is true in many roles. Went from eating fast food 1-2 times a day in my teens to 1-2 times a month now. You can physically feel the difference in your daily energy level. My digestive system is not screwed up all the time, etc. It's 20 days before exams start. I wish I would have started studying earlier. I've recently discovered what I want to do with my life, what I really want my career to be. I wish I'd figured that out 24 years ago. Sure, some good has come from my past choices, but these years of indecision have severely weighed me down. It's going to make moving forward difficult, more difficult than if I had just figured this out sooner. I did a load of life laundry which enabled me to earn less and have more time to live. The freedom of being able to work part-time for low wages is the most liberating thing to have ever happened to me, and I wish I realized that ages ago. I can leave any job I hate at a moment's notice and move on to another relatively easily. No more being intimidated into working crappy hours jobs. I have loads of time for hobbies and am studying towards a degree which I finish next year. I have only been able to do it since my son became an adult, but I would encourage those that feel trapped on the hamster wheel to start planning ways to take more control. I'm now 40 and started planning around 7 years ago. Have been living the lifestyle fully for about 3 years. For me personally, the plan involved paying off around 9k of debt over 3 years. The hardship of that became a positive challenge, and by the time the 3 years was up, I love saving and economizing. We have got rid of Sky TV, cable in US. We stopped paying a TV license. We live in a small cottage with no heating, and have become experts in frugality. We have chickens, dogs, and we grow a lot of our own vegetables. I have a crap phone, and my nights out are walks and camping. It's not for everyone maybe, but my wife and I have never been more content. I wish I had stopped using social media like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, etc. It caused me so much anxiety and FOMO, especially in my high school days. I'm 23 now and haven't been on those apps in 2 years. My life is significantly less stressful and I'm a lot more confident and chill in general. Continuous hormonal birth control. It's been life-changing not having hormonal fluctuations. It triggered hypomanic episodes. I am more functional and have a much easier time controlling myself now. Before, it was really bad and causing issues with all aspects of my life. Also, not having a period is amazing. Frick that. Seeing a therapist. I kinda got off my parents' home knowing I had 1000 things to improve about myself, and I did those. Then, I got into a narcissistic relationships which made me question everything I had done and reverted most of it. Only afterwards I went there to find out I did everything right on the first time. It's easier the second time around. Still have that feeling of almost a decade of my life lost though. Therapy. My level of self-awareness has never been anywhere near where I thought it was, and trying to fix everything myself was a waste of time. Good study habits. Learning how to drive, going to the gym, taking care of my appearance, being a positive person. I'm 37. I wish I had got my hormones checked and started testosterone replacement therapy at least 10 years ago. All my life I've had issues with depression, couldn't sleep, couldn't focus on studying, had issues controlling my moods, couldn't build any real muscle. December 2018 I finally decided to go see a doctor and get the blood tests. Yup, low testosterone. Now everything started to make sense. After some complications I got my first injection and I've been on TRT for about a month. It feels like a cloud has been lifted from my head. I'm happy that I started treatment, but my god, I wish I was doing this since my 20s. My whole life it felt like something was holding me back. Things just felt wrong. It's a little sad thinking about how my life could have turned out different if I had started treatment 10 years ago, instead of the crap that it is now. Oh well, better late than never. Doing dumb crap. Making mistakes. Getting in trouble. I have been so fearful and cautious my whole life that I never really had the experience of freaking up and dealing with the consequences. Now as an adult I am constantly paralyzed by profound risk aversion. I'm working on it, but it makes me sad to think about how much I've let pass me by in my life because I was too afraid to leave my comfort zone. This crap is in me deep, and changing how you fundamentally view decision making in your late 20s is turning out to be pretty tough. Calisthenics and eating right. As a teenager and young adult I got into taekwondo, but my diet was bad and all I did was just slim down. I could do 40 to 50 push-ups with good form and tempo but zero pull-ups. I got discouraged because I was 60 kilograms and 175 centimeters at 20 years old. Gave up and slowly went up to 86 kgs in 5 years. Started a diet and calisthenics and went down to 70 and back to 76 kgs. Last week I managed to do 10 clean good form pull-ups in a row for the first time. I can't help but wonder how good would I be now had I fixed my training and diet when I was a teenager. I'm 27 now BTW. Paying attention to my weight. I ended up putting on so much weight when I younger. I was 110 pounds at age 9 and it sucked. Recently I've been exercising and eating healthier and it makes me happier and obviously healthier. Kept my room pretty minimalist. I let the rest of my house be as cluttered as I want, but I am devoted to keeping my room clutter free. Once I started doing this, my whole life became more organized because I wasn't waking up in a mess every day. I wish I seeked IDK how to spell help years ago. I was diagnosed with severe depression today, and I could have had it so much better if I had gotten help a couple years ago. Thank you to the Redditor that helped me find out that I needed help. Watching TV. No one wants to hear about my latest trip to the gym, but talking the office is a surefire way to make friends. Snowboarding. I tried it earlier in life, but had no clue what I was doing and just wrote it off as something I couldn't do. I gave it another go this winter with some professional instruction, and figured out how it worked. I am now 100% addicted to it and cannot wait for next season. Self-love. Accepting myself, my body, how I am and how I look. Up until I was 18 I lived at home with my mom who, well, is obsessed with being skinny. She wears a 00 pant size, and it affected me pretty badly. I'm adopted, so my body is so different than hers. She has no boobs, natural thigh gap, collarbones, etc. But now, 5 years later I'm finally loving myself. I can look at my curves and enjoy them. Look in the mirror and think, dang girl you fine. Haha, just joking around. But really, I wish I didn't waste my entire teenage years crying over being fat. Such a waste. Eating better and saving money. I'm still healthy and live comfortably now, but had I started in my late teens, early 20s, I'd be much better off. Paying attention to the clit during sex. Goodness, was I selfish ignorant when I was just getting started. My second college GF set me straight. The road to orgasms can't be a one-way street. Also Kegels and edging during masturbation to get my stamina up. It's supposed to be practice for the big game, not a means to an end. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.